Hi guys, it is actually a fairly nice day here in the end times, believe it or not, here in the former paradise of South Austin, Texas on this pleasant Tuesday afternoon. Where are we? December 20th, 2016, December 20th, I think the last day of fall 2016. So Tuesday is the day I tried to, your old eco-Nazi tries to find the energy to bring you my wacky conspiracy roundup rant of the week, what all those wacky conspiracy tards are up to this week. And somehow, I don't know where this rant's going, guys. I'm somehow going to try to connect the mishmashing dots between the colonization of Mars and chemtrails. I'm going to mix up the Mars mission, conspiracy theories, chemtrail theories, and connect those dots and try to look for some common ground. You know, Chris Hedges was just ranting about how all of these tribes on the internet, I think he called them clans, how all of these clans down in our rabbit holes are being so antagonistic to each other. And I have to admit, guys, your old eco-Nazi has been a little bit antagonistic towards clueless moron conspiracy wackos over the years. I've often said of conspiracy wackos, you know, the danger with opening your mind about what's going on this planet is if you open it too far, your fucking brain falls out on the ground. And this is what has happened with a lot of these conspirators. But at least conspiracy wackos are at least talking about things that need to be talked about. Well, not always, but you know what I'm saying. It's just they're overwhelmed by the red pill. But I think it is within this whole packing for Mars meme going around on both the mainstream and the alternative media, as well as the chemtrail meme going around on the planet. I think this is where the eco-Nazi and the conspiracy wacko, we can start to build on some common ground if we just simply can't get into a shouting match. And I've tried to make this clear, well, not so much about exploring Mars, but certainly with chemtrails. But the central thing I am saying, both about chemtrails and about these conspiracy wackos that think that we have had a base on Mars for years. You know, my problem with this is I don't think they're that wacky. The only issue that I have with their opinion of colonies on Mars and chemtrails is that the conspiracy wackos, they are the understanding that it's already happening and has been happening for years, while I think that it's not happened yet, but anybody down the eco-Nazi rabbit hole who can sit here and just peruse both the mainstream and the alternative media and try to act like that getting our ass to Mars and spraying all these chemtrails around our home planet are not in the works, that are not on the top of the agenda of the New World Order to, for lack of a better term, got one thing to tell you. Goddamn, both chemtrails and getting our ass to Mars are at the top of the real Agenda 21 It's getting our ass out of here, and it seems to me, guys, whether that it's almost irrelevant whether they started chemtrailing and getting to Mars 10 years ago, or it's going to be 5 to 10 years from now. At this point, it's kind of splitting hairs. If they haven't done it already, you better believe that they're getting ready to, and you better believe that 99% of the clueless fucking morons on this planet, when it just becomes front page news on the New York Times, are going to be cheering on the humanity getting their asses to Mars and spraying this planet with chemtrails. And it just seems clear to me, guys. It just seems clear to me that the New World Order, the global industrial economy, whatever you want to call, whatever your little pet term is, they know something that we don't know, or they damn well know something that they think we don't know, but a few of us eco-Nazis are figuring it out, and that it is that this planet is fucked. Now, this planet's fucked at this point, certainly from climate change. I won't get into an overpopulation rant. I'm just talking the climate change angle. That we are fucked. Anybody with a brain studying climate change science over and watching these hockey stick curves going on this planet knows that our goddamn days are numbered. That the genie is out of the bottle, the toothpaste is out of the tube, we ain't sticking it back in there. So, it's frying pan or the fire, the shit with the chemtrails versus the global warming. If the global warming doesn't kill us, the chemtrails that they're planning to fight the global warming will. We're fucked. Frying pan or fire, your choice on that. And so, the New World Order, or anybody else with a brain, it basically understands that our one chance to save our asses now is to get our ass to Mars. And this is why, good God, it's, I was going to start this rant with a review of this, I guess it's a fairly new conspiracy wacko documentary about, it's called Packing for Mars, about how there's already been Martian bases up there, that we've had a human colony on Mars, I think going back to the 1970s or some bullshit. Unfortunately, I could not stomach more than the opening scenes of Packing for Mars, but at least in the first minute, before the guy went wacko, and started talking about fucking planet Nibiru and all of this other shit, instead of talking about planets Earth and Mars, as soon as I hear the word Nibiru come out of someone's mouth, as they say, if you want me to hit the delete button, all you got to do is say the word Nibiru. I go in there to watch a documentary about Mars, and this fucking idiot is talking about Nibiru after 5 minutes, and there went my review of Packing for Mars. But as I say, anybody who thinks, I'm just this is just a tiny little sample for anyone living under a rock on this planet. Here we have Wikipedia. They have their own colonization of Mars page. And of course, who's going to show up here is one of Elon Musk's stated goals through his company SpaceX is to make such colonizational possible. Exactly, with the mainstream media cheering him on. Like, this National Geographic Channel, see, it's not surprising. It's Rupert Murdoch, one of the architects of the New World Order. When did he buy National Geographic? A little over a year ago. And what do we see? We see a National Geographic entire TV series cheering on humans moving to Mars. I'm not going to get into a rant about the National Geographic cover story this month featuring a 9-year-old transgender girl on the front of National Geographic. That is an entirely different rant, but I'm not surprised that Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer Murdoch buys National Geographic, and the first thing he does is set about making this series cheering on moving to Mars. This is space.com. This is their review. I don't have a TV. I love it. I've been in this fight with this local real estate agent here in South Austin, Texas, and now I go on here and I see that the realtor that I'm in an argument with over this vacant house is now advertising on space.com on my computer. Anyway, National Geographic's Mars offers history of future first landing on the red planet. Well, duh, no shit, Sherlock. Humanity is still years away from landing on Mars, but the first documentary to look back at that achievement is already complete. So I guess this is the 6-part television docudrama Mars. Chronicles the first mission to the red planet in 2033, using footage of the crew's activities on the surface and through flashbacks to 2016. Flashbacks to 2016, when the journey to Mars began. There you go. Right here on space.com. The journey to Mars has begun. And this is one of the guys involved, anyway, one of the people involved with the series, quote, "There is this guy named Elon Musk, and he is probably going to put people on Mars within 10 years. And that is going to change everything about life on Earth. When we become a multi-planet species, it will be the most cataclysmic event that has occurred ever since humans started walking upright 2 million years ago." And this is someone cheering on. They're cheering on humans moving to Mars while calling it the most cataclysmic event that has occurred ever since humans started walking upright 2 million years ago, which is exactly what it is. Humans taking this model planet-wide. My God, isn't one planet enough? Here is the Washington Post, how NASA is rehearsing for a mission to Mars. Here's this group. I don't even think this one is connected with Elon Musk. This is called Mars One. Some group of investors called Mars One aims to establish a permanent human settlement on Mars. Several unmanned missions will be completed establishing a habitable settlement before carefully selected and trained crews will depart to Mars. And so they're trying to raise the money for this. The Mars One team, with its advisors and with established aerospace companies will evaluate and mitigate risks and identify and overcome the difficulties step by step. Mars One is a global initiative whose goal is to make this everyone's mission to Mars, including yours. If we all work together, we can do this. We are going to Mars. Come along. I have no desire to come along. And of course, you know, the big question is exactly who? Exactly who is going to be on this colony on Mars? Do you think it's going to be you, brother? No. Who are the candidates we're hearing? Of course, Elon Musk. Leonardo DiCaprio, he is reserved a seat on that damn spaceship to Mars because he understands where climate change is going on this planet, and that more and more people are figuring out where, you know, where things are going on the blue planet. They're jumping to the conclusion from this point forward, and this is no joke, people. This is no fucking joke, that it will be easier in a few more years for people to survive on Mars than to survive on Earth. And it just sounds like some eco-Nazi conspiracy theory. Pull your head out of your ass. And I also want to make a side note about the planet Venus. During my research into this stuff about Mars, what is also turning up, but not quite is high on the radar, is all of this new research into Venus and to sending spaceships to Venus. And this is just my eco-Nazi conspiracy wacko stuff at this point about research into traveling to Venus, this DARPA research or NASA or whatever the hell it is, where that black op funding is coming from and going to. Any of it technically calling studying that they're looking into exploring Venus. They're looking at the people who don't make it to Mars. It is Plan B. Plan B is not moving to Venus. Plan B is trying to learn how to live on Venus, because this planet, the one we live on, is going Venus. If you've heard that term from the climate change alarmists, that this planet is going to rapidly start turning into Venus. And so I think it's not a stretch in my vivid imagination to say that the shit going on with looking into surviving on Venus is looking at how to survive on Earth, assuming that we don't get our asses to Mars. Which is, it's going to be easier to live on Mars than it is to live on Earth. You know, how many times did Terence McKenna say about the shit that was coming out on this planet? It's going to be a photo finish. And just one more photo finish we can add to the thing is, are humans going to become extinct before they become a multi-planet species? I know there's a term for this kind of this civilization, this breakaway civilization, where I was just talking about this a few days ago. I'm just having a senior moment where intelligent life forms are going. The reason, one of the main reasons that we're not meeting any of these guys, unless you're a space alien wacko, you know what I'm talking about. The reason we're not seeing these guys just walking around your backyard is because any intelligent, sapient life form that could ever get the technology to get off their home planet and start heading into space is going to drive themselves into extinction before, and try to tell me that the human species is not in this position right now at this very moment. We are in a race between human extinction, the Guy McPherson model, and the getting our ass to Mars, which we can call, I guess, the Stephen Hawking model, or the Elon Musk model, or the Leonardo DiCaprio model. You know, has anyone else noticed that it seems to me for the eco-Nazis here in the Guy McPherson camp and the techno-utopians over here in the Elon Musk camp, down in their little separate antagonistic internet rabbit holes, talking about it, is just me, or are you starting to notice that every time Guy McPherson lowers his estimate for how many years we have left on this planet, then a few days later, Elon Musk or one of these guys comes along and starts saying we're going to be on Mars. So if Guy McPherson is saying humans are going to be extinct by 2030, then Elon Musk is saying he's going to have us on Mars by 2029. And so Guy McPherson, you know, a couple of weeks ago has now lowered, I guess I'm done with this computer, has now lowered his estimate to 2026. Guy McPherson is saying we're going to be gone before 2026 now, as climate change goes hockey stick on us. And so what did I read like 3 days later after Guy McPherson making that claim, that Elon Musk was now making the claim we're going to be on Mars in the year 2025. So we can watch this pattern as we're heading to this photo finish. So what it's going to get to, so what's it going to be next? So next we're going to hear, I guess, Guy McPherson is going to claim humans are going to be extinct in the year 2022. So Elon Musk is going to say we're going to have a base on Mars in 2021, and then in the year 2020, Guy McPherson is going to be saying humans are going to be extinct next Thursday at 4:30 in the afternoon, and Elon Musk is going to come back and claim that we're going to have a base on Mars Wednesday night at 8 p.m. You know, that's what this is turning into on this planet, as everybody from Elon Musk up over to Guy McPherson understanding we are fucked, and the one hope, if you call it a hope, of saving the human race is to get our asses to the red planet. We are, I'm going to come back and do a short rant on the word surreal. Surreal. Things are getting surreal on this planet, guys. And smoke them if you got them. But good Lord, all I can say with this shit, between moving to Mars and spraying them damn chemtrails and smoke them if you got them. It's amazing we ain't dead yet, but it ain't going to be long, and I'm going to be sitting here as long as I can, right up until this planet goes Venus, having my little rants, I guess, chronicling the long overdue collapse and fall of global industrial civilization. But I am going to come back with you. We're going to have a vocabulary lesson in this short rant, which kind of ties in to this rant and every other rant. For this week's Conspiracy Wacko Roundup rant, I'm holding out an olive branch. This is an eco-Nazi holding out an olive branch to the chemtrail and colony on Mars Uh, you're not a complete wacko. Okay, you're just a little ahead of the curve, and that's not that, because considering 99% of this planet is so fucking behind the curve, I shouldn't get mad at these conspiracy wackos for being a little bit ahead of the curve. Bye, guys. The alternative media, as well as the chemtrail meme going around on the planet. I think this is where the eco-Nazi and the conspiracy wacko, we can start to build on some common ground if we just simply can't get into a shouting match. And I've tried to make this clear, well, not so much about exploring Mars, but certainly with chemtrails. But the central thing I am saying, both about chemtrails, to bring you my wacky conspiracy roundup rant of the week, what all those wacky conspiracy tards are up to this week. And somehow, I don't know where this rant's going, guys. I'm somehow going to try to connect the mishmashing dots between the colonization of Mars and chemtrails. I'm going to mix up the Mars mission, conspiracy theories in your mind about what's going on this planet. Is if you open it too far, your fucking brain falls out on the ground. And this is what has happened with a lot of these conspirators. But at least conspiracy wackos are at least talking about things that need to be talked about. Well, not always, but you know what I'm saying. It's just they're overwhelmed by the red pill. But I think it is within this whole packing for Mars meme going around on both the mainstream and... Hi guys, it is actually a fairly nice day here in the end times, believe it or not, here in the former paradise of South Austin, Texas, on this pleasant Tuesday afternoon. Where are we? December 20th, 2016, December 20th, I think the last day of fall 2016. So Tuesday is the day I tried to, your old eco-Nazi tries to find the chemtrail theories and connect those dots and try to look for some common ground. You know, Chris Hedges was just ranting about how all of these tribes on the internet, I think he called them clans, how all of these clans down in our rabbit holes are being so antagonistic to each other. And I have to admit, guys, your old eco-Nazi has been a little bit antagonistic towards clueless moron conspiracy wackos over the years. I've often said of conspiracy wackos, you know, the danger with opening